So now we know that INEOS Britannia is the next challenger. The next big question is where the next America's Cup will take place. Already there have been calls led by Team New Zealand patron Helen Clark for Auckland to host it again, while others say the government can't cut thousands of jobs and then fork out millions to host a boat race. Grace Thomas waded into the debate.
The champagne had barely lost its fizz before talks turned to whether the next America's Cup would make it back to Aotearoa.
Oh, definitely should be. I think New Zealand won. It should be here.
We're pretty consistent in winning it, so I think we should get it.
In the wake of their latest win in Barcelona, plenty of support is already being thrown behind bringing the competition home.
I just think some quick action to really think about, could we do this, and think about the benefits to the country. The reality is we're a sailing nation and it does have knock-on impacts. We'd just love to see that energy and desire to put us back on an international stage after a pretty tough time.
And I think all Kiwis would love to see the next Cup Series hosted here in New Zealand. I certainly think the government should be talking to Team New Zealand about whether or not we can make that happen.
Team New Zealand Chief Executive Grant Dalton has previously said a return to Auckland isn't off the table, but that he wouldn't be pursuing such a deal and it'd be up to the government to make a pitch. But amid huge public service cuts, the Prime Minister's warning economic times are tight and it may not be high on the priority list.
I just do acknowledge, however, that it's really tough times for New Zealand as well, and so we'd have to weigh that up against all the other things that we want to be able to do.
And it seems the biggest issue for Team New Zealand now may not be where they host the next one, but how they reconnect with New Zealanders.
I've had very little interest in the America's Cup because it's not here. So, and time zones. So calling it Team New Zealand seems a bit rich if it's not here.
I think got caught up in the excitement the last few times and it's been here a little bit, but this time, no.
No question that hosting the event here would bring a whole lot of New Zealanders back on board. I think there's a small proportion now who are so burned by the taking it away from Auckland that perhaps they wouldn't sort of be conducive to supporting it coming back. So
it looks like once again the most important part of the race could be before the boats even make it to the start line.
OK, Grace, what's Auckland Council saying about all this?
Well, Laura, Mayor Wayne Brown was on his way to Brazil today, so he wasn't available to comment, but Deputy Mayor Desley Simpson did, and she said in a statement she sincerely hopes that Auckland is on the shortlist to host the next America's Cup. But she did go on to say that funding is without a doubt a major factor. The council has several financial challenges, and until they know more detail about where this funding is coming from, they can't comment any further on the matter. But we may have already had one of the biggest indications that the Cup won't be coming back home to Auckland. One of Team New Zealand's senior leaders and long-time backer, billionaire Matteo Denora, told an Italian newspaper that if the next series is held within the next 2 years, it'll either stay in Barcelona or go to the Middle East, simply because New Zealand wouldn't be ready in time.
Grace Thomas there live from Auckland Viaduct.